Manchester United has done it. They have confirmed the signing of Joshua Zirkzee as a Manchester United player, as we have been anticipating to sign until, of course, signed already until 2029. The first signing under Ineos, the first marquee signing is finally done. There you go. That is him. After, of course, he was done with his first interview as a Manchester United player. But let me read for you the statement that has been released by the club. There you go. There you have it. Joshua Zirkzee. Manchester United is pleased to confirm that Joshua Zirkzee has joined the club subject to registration. The Dutch forward has signed a contract until June 2029 with the option to extend for a further year. Zirkzee, the 2023-2024 Serie A Under-23 Player of the Year, was Bologna FC's top scorer last season, helping his team qualify for the UEFA Champions League. The 23-year-old Netherlands international earlier won 6 trophies during his time with Bayern Munich. This is the new man. He has got some trophies to his name, and of course, has got quite a number of things, of course, to pride himself in as a footballer. He has achieved quite a number of things, of course, but he's now going to be achieving more with Man United. 42.5 million euros is the fee Manchester United paid for him, just slightly above his buyout clause, and he becomes the first Ineos marquee signing of their era. How do you rate him? Drop down in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this signing, how you feel that this boy is important to what Erik Ten Hag and Ineos are trying to build. But statements, of course, are flying around now from Dan Ashworth, who is now, of course, the man commenting. It's no longer Erik Ten Hag speaking after signings and stuff. It is Dan Ashworth who comes out and makes certain statements when we get a player. So Dan Ashworth has come out to say after this confirmation that one of the main objectives this summer was to find a striker who would strengthen our already very successful attacking sector. We are delighted to have managed to sign a player of the caliber of Zirkzee so early in the transfer window. That is so key. It is never easy to sign such a big player so early in the transfer window. That is according to Dan Ashworth. Like, share, subscribe. My name is Webb. I forgot to greet you for a second because, guys, I mean, when the news is burning, I forget my manners. But I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm not like that. I always greet people. How have you been? How are you feeling now? That's him with the boss, Erik Ten Hag, after signing his contract. Is he left-handed? Guys, left-handed people are geniuses. Left-handed people are geniuses. He better be left-handed. Now, moving on, having had discussions with the manager, this is Zirkzee now speaking, that having had discussions with the manager and leaders of the club, I know how exciting the future is going to be here, and I cannot wait to play my part in achieving success for Manchester United. I'm a player who has always dedicated everything to winning. A winning mentality is what we want to start Manchester United, and this is exactly what we are getting in as a club. Beautiful stuff there happening as Manchester United gets now everything underway. I've told you guys, I think, let me give myself my flowers. My timeline of events of the week, I think we're spot on. I told you we'll expect a signing, and indeed it has come in beautiful fashion, beautiful stuff. Now expect Mathis Delete to be moved for this coming week. Expect a few departures to be confirmed. A defender, a Casemiro as well. Expect more things happening when it comes to do with Manchester United. Now, of course, I've got an update for you as well about a player you've all been asking me about. What exactly is going on with Malacia? Where is he? Well, his recovery is going on decently well, as he was pictured earlier on today. I'll go back to Joshua Zirkzee for a bit because there's quite a lot of things to talk about him. But that's Tyrell Malacia training this week at Carrington, and the club shared some photos of him during training. He's back on grass. That is very important. It's usually the last phase before a player goes now to rejoin his teammates. He's first back from the gym. He first then goes back on steps on grass. It's a process. It's usually the last step to a player's recovery, going back on the grass. Now he's back on grass, and he was working with Man United doctors to try and see how much more they can do for him in order to be able to join the rest of his teammates. But you can see the smile on his face. If you haven't seen it, let me just put it back for you a second. You can see the smile on his face. I think it shows you that he's probably beginning to feel like it's back. I told you, you never write off a young footballer. Tyrell Malacia is only 24. So, whereas, yes, he had a big injury setback that might have dented his progress. He has only played, I think, about 39 games for Man United. The reality is, you don't write him off because he's only 24. So, we know what he's capable of doing. We can only hope that his recovery will go on impeccably well and there won't be any more setbacks. Now, Luke Shaw as well could be a starter for England in their final game of the Euros, which could be a game of their lives. I low-key feel for me, because of Kobe, I think England are going to lift it. And of course, so many people will feel like they are not deserving. I actually think it doesn't matter. I think it's okay. It's a tournament. We know that the teams that always struggle sometimes end up lifting it. So whereas Spain has been, consistently good, I think they could be shocked by England. And for me, if Kobe is winning in this first season, when I praised him and people were abusing me for praising him and saying I'm going to spoil him, he can't play if I overpraise him and stuff. For me, if I see what has been the debut season for Kobe Maino, the best. I think I don't think I've liked a Man United player the way I liked Kobe from the first time I saw him. Honestly, I think that would be the perfect ending to what has been, a season, should I say, full of so much, or yeah, full of so much to heart about, and of course, a perfect start to a new season. Remember, this week preseason is starting, and Man United, the guys were already jetted out. I mean, they're already on their flight to go for that preseason game against Rosenborg, the fixture that will be there tomorrow. That's Monday. And a selection of senior players who returned, of course, through the week did leave. Of course, I saw photos there of Ruud van Nistelrooy and Rennie Haki smiling with their from ear to ear as they did, of course, go for that game in the Lakendo Stadium for their first two preseason games. They will be in the Lakendo Stadium. That's what they will go for. And of course, they will later fly on to the tour of the United States, and that's where, of course, they will meet several teams, including Arsenal. Now, a total of 25 players departed from Manchester on Sunday afternoon. Of course, these include the likes of Andre Onana. Harry Maguire did not, because he's still continuing on his recovery at Carrington by himself. He was not part of the team. But those who traveled include Andre Onana, Victor Lindelof, Amad Diallo, and okay, no. I beg your pardon. Andre Onana, Victor Lindelof, Ahmad, Anthony, and Jadon Sancho are all working on their fitness at the training ground in line with individual schedules. Now, all these players, the senior players, are trying to work on their their fitness. They were so long on holiday, they couldn't just go now into fixtures. But the likes of Aaron Wan-Bissaka has traveled with the team. I think the team is impressed with his fitness. Casemiro is among the 25. Team is impressed as well. Mason Mount is among them. They are impressed with his fitness. You see the senior players, Marcus Rashford. Expect maybe a kid among, of course, these are so many unknowns. The Ethan Innises of this world, Joe Hugill, Ethan Whitley, who was knocking on the door. I expect probably one of them to do what Kobe and Garnacho did, really. So maybe after this preseason, there might be another kid becoming a mainstay in the senior team. But the work has begun. 25. But let's go back to the big one, the big update. Joshua Zirkzee, a guy who inspired Bologna to a Champions League, show, is done. It's dusted. Guys, drop down a comment. Give me your 2 cents about Zirkzee. How you rate him? Do you rate him ahead of Rasmus Højlund? What are your expectations of him? What would success be for Zirkzee? In your view, we are talking of a player who has come from Bologna, joining Manchester United. What are your expectations in terms of goals, in terms of what you expect to see, but also the usage? How do you expect this team to use him? I've been saying it here consistently that Zirkzee is not just a number 9. He can play as a 9, yes, but he can as well play part of two strikers. He can play with two strikers. He can play as a 10. He can play off the wings, off the left, especially because he's right-footed. He is an industrious attacker. He can be an attacking midfielder. He can be a striker. He can be molded into anything we want because he has got the abilities to use the ball, to drop deep and carry the ball, beat off people. He is a different mold of a footballer, and it's no mistake that he's being compared to the great Ronaldinho. It is all in his style. It's not just about the hair. It's in his style that is compared to the great Ronaldinho. He is a baller like no other. He's a different, special kind of player. And I'll tell you, one of the things that excites me about this new Ineos Man United that they are setting up. Remember, they are working on several other deals. I've told you Mathis Delete is next and the likes. But one of the things that is exciting me is gone are the times when you saw a Manchester United that had brands, if I would say, names that would command you to go and buy a kit. But you see, if you have players like Delete, you have Delete, you have Onana is a brand already, but you have Onana, you have Delete, you have Lisandro Martinez, you've got Kobe Maino, you've got Bruno Fernandes, of course, you've got Joshua Zirkzee, Rasmus Højlund, Alejandro Garnacho, Ahmad. All these are players who would excite crowds to go and buy their kits. So in terms of the business, they see when you have the right players in the team, you make the money. This is what the Glazers were neglecting. They only thought you make money through, a whole lot of everything else, but the football makes the money for a football club. That's why Kylian Mbappe's unveiling, even before already the slots for his unveiling were pre-booked, but also the orders for the replica jerseys for the kits are done. If you make an order now, you can only get it, I think, end of August. For if you make an order for a Kylian, they are overwhelmed. I mean, the Adidas team manufacturing these kits, I think it's Adidas that works with Real Madrid, if my mind is not skipping doing me wrong. But the team manufacturing these kits are overwhelmed by orders. That's because they have a brand of a player. I can imagine that when the Zirkzee kit goes on sale, when the last season, Man United, of course, because of how Kobe came and was introduced into the squad, I was at the Man United mega store, and you'll be shocked that there was nothing with Kobe on it. The only Kobe thing I got from the UK at the time was a badge. Where is it? You've probably seen it. I think I always, put it on. Where in the world is it? I've got to put on this badge as Kobe lifts the Euros title. Where is it? Somebody stole my badge. Here it is. So you understand what I mean. So it's probably that's why they didn't make money. But I'm certain this kid is going to make a lot of money in terms of sale of his kits. I hope in his new deal that Dan Ashworth is eager to offer him. I hope they include a clause of him getting part of his image rights, because his image is indeed, after him winning the Euros tonight, is going to blow up. It's going to shoot up. Zirkzee, I feel, when his jersey is gone the market, I feel Zirkzee is also going to break a few records or try and compete with the very greats that we've had. I lucky feel that. So for me, it's a beautiful time to be a Man United guy. Well, if in case you're just joining me for the first time, confirmation one more time. Joshua Zirkzee is done. He is in as a Manchester United player until 2029 with an option of a further 1 year. My name is Webb. This is the United of Sport. Peace, love, and harmony. We've started.